In these unique times, AgostoAllElite can make a difference. Please buy our custom merch today at AgostoAllElite store on bonfire.com. You could buy our merch with a 20% off with the code Augusto Big Sale. So come on to AgostoAllElite store at Bonfire to get our merch. And it's 20% off, so hurry up and go get it now. Welcome to this week's AgostoAllElite podcast. Anyway, my co-host is busy. He will be time for the Dynamite review. So let's start with AW Elevation recap. We got Excalibur, Menard, call for the addition of Elevation. Anyway, Dante Martin defeated Wes Barkley. Martin planted Barkley with a nosedive finisher for an easy win. My thoughts on this: they're building up wins for Martin, which it makes sense because they have something planned for Dante Martin, and I probably can't wait what it is. Anyway, we got Julie Hart defeated Ari Alexander. Hart hit on Stanley Musa, lock in her Heartless Lock for the submission win. My thoughts on this, let's see. Hart, they're building up Hart, like, with reps and stuff. I think Julia Hart is a good signing for AEW. She'll showcase what she can do. Let's hope that Maria Shepard, Nia Rose defeated Queen Amita and Sky Blue. Shepard hit Blue with a nasty German suplex, followed by Shepard. Rose hitting an assisted DDT. Yeah, they definitely messed up on, but they got the win regardless. My thoughts on that: they did mess up the DDT, but there was some progress from Maria Shepard, but still, she was a bit of a terrible wrestler. So, yeah, though they paired up Shepard and Rose for a good reason. Understanding. Anyway, Matt Hardy versus RSP. Matt Hardy weighs to the middle rope, landed elbow, followed by twist of fate for the win. Nothing came from it, from the party situation for now. That's probably my thoughts. All this Matt Hardy matches are building towards my party and Matt Hardy. So let's see what it develops. Okay, we got Saraya D defeated Katie Arquette. D blocked in the Flying Octopus hold early. Arquette fought out of it. D then locked in the Serenity Lock soon after the quick tap. My thoughts that they're building back up Saraya D. That's nice. Let's hope they do something with Saraya D or any other women. Okay, we go to Kazarian defeated Adrian Gretschel. Kazarian locked in the crossface chicken wing at the leg drop to get the win in his first appearance since late June's Royal Rampage match. My thoughts on this, it's been a while since they used Kazarian, but he did sign a contract at AEW, so Kazarian is pretty much staying, so I just want to see him put him to good use. Yeah. So, anyway, we have Roosh, the Blade, the Butcher defeated Chase Oliver, Elijah Dean, and Zach Nystrom. Rush getting back into the match with a drop kick in the corner to pick up the win. My thoughts: they're building Roosh and Andrade Ito into a big faction. I don't know what faction they're playing. Is Inaugural and E-Blade. I don't know what Butcher and the Blade's involvement, so I don't know. So I'm hoping there's some development into that. Okay, we go into the main event. Shida versus Sakura. Shida defeated Sakura to retain the Regina D-Wave title. So let's talk about it. The title contention is Regina D-Wave belt from Japan's Pro Wrestling Wave. Shida won the title by defeating Zuzu Suzuki early this month. The match was put into motion on last Monday's show. Sakura came out of the gates hot, hit a huge clothesline, then pulled Sakura's hair to drive her head into the turnbuckle. The action went outside where Shida pulled out a chair, went for the set off of it. Sakura caught her in the air, hit a back suplex onto the same chair. Back in the ring, Sakura connected on a pile driver, moonsault for near falls both times. She had fought her way back into the match and opened up her shirt, tapping Sakura to change in a chopping contest. Sakura tried to use Ref and the shield and poke the eyes of Shida. Sakura tried to hit Queen's Gambit, but Shida keep getting out of it. She contacted with a big right elbow that set up a running knee. Near fall, Shida followed up with a katana spinning kick to the head for the win. So, my thoughts on that match was a pretty good title match, with Shida building towards winning this fatal 4-way for the interim championship, women's championship at AllOut. It makes sense, but it was still a good championship. So here's my final thoughts on Elevation. It was a super fun show. Got points across. Everything I needed to happen did happen. I've seen so many dark shows where no story elements, where there's no reason to care. But on this show, they push Private Party, Hardy Angle, and the main event called Championship. I always love to see stuff like this. Should be a fun start to All Out week they have planned. So now we go to the AEW Dark recap. The AEW Dark recap. So let's start with John Silver defeating Jericho. So let's see. Silver hits the pentacle takedown, followed to perfect drop kick. Silver he tossed Sickman around, going to pillar post. Prompted Luther to get involved, verbal assaulted, allowing his pentacle moment catches breath. Nails Silver drop super kick. The match went on. Spectacle didn't maintain the control for long, so Silver would begin to gain momentum. After nailing a few super cheater kicks, while Silver defeated Spectacle to him with a Dr. Bomb. Now, Silver prepared for the Friday's Trio title tourney match, semi-finals match, lost to Reynolds and 10 against the Best Friends. My thoughts, it makes sense for him to win this match. He has a Trio semi-final match going for him, so it makes sense. We got Dynamite defeated Charlotte Renegade with Robin Renegade. My thoughts that, yeah, it makes sense for Dynamite to win the match. This is a return, so they might do something with Dynamite. So anyway, let's get into something. We got Angelo Parker with Matt Menard defeating Gus De La Vega. So Parker hit an elevated DDT on Vega for a quick victory. He's built to challenge the FTW champion Hook next. It's probably early this weekend. So I cannot wait. Then we see later Parker Menard cut a promo backstage about Hook, essentially calling him a pretty boy while threatening to steal his hair gel and brag. This was absolutely phenomenal. So my thoughts on this, that yes, this is going to be Parker versus Hook at the 0 hour All Out. So yeah, it makes sense. We got Kira Hogan defeated Milo, whatever. Milo hit by a headlock to Hogan early. Yada. Hogan wanted to end things with a ground roundhouse kick for the pin. My thoughts is a squash. It boosted Kira Hogan's winning record. And that's all I have to say. The Trustbusters defeated Logan Cruz, Tyler Shawn Press, and Hermano. This was basically a squash trios match, nothing more. We saw performances from Board X being a monster. It makes sense. It very well was. Julia Hart defeated Vicky Dreamboat. Hart nailed Dreamboat with nasty elbow. Then Hart submitted Dreamboat with our signature Heartless submission. So my thoughts on that match. Once again, they're building Julia Hart to beat Vicky Dreamboat. And it makes sense. Anyway, let's go to Kayla Ross. Defeated Vaporous. Okay, Marissa wins when hits a fallaway slam moonsault combination for the victory. My thoughts on that match. Kayla Ross returns, and they're building up a CAD record for Ross. They're doing reps for her, which makes sense. She's developmental. The Varsity Bonds defeated Rosario Guerrero and Dean Alexander. It was a good matchup. The Blondes hit a spinebuster drop kick for the victory. Made sense. And my thoughts, yes. Like, the Varsity Blondes needed a win. They get more aggressive. They needed a win. Okay, we got Dante Martin defeating AR Fox. My thoughts, this was the best night of the match to the point. It was not even close. Like, the match ended when he outsmarted folks in his move and popped himself for a nosedive and scored in the victory. It made sense, and basically that's my thoughts. But AEW needs to sign AR Fox. He's good with developmental talent. So we got some Brock Anderson versus defeated Tyson Maddox. We got some Anderson work down Matt Rion, targeting Arn. Made quick work of him with a spine buster for the win. My thoughts, they're making Brock Anderson for Ring of Honor, and that makes sense. So I see him going to Ring of Honor. Okay, we got the Workhorsemen beating also Manny Low. Yep. My thoughts, this team is set up. This team is setting up to face. It's set up to go to Ring of Honor. That's most likely happening. So anyway, then we got the match after the match. Drake and Anthony cut a promo, addressed Drake leaving the wingman. It's pretty much. So we got Leia Gray defeated Ray Michelle. My thoughts. This was the pattern record for Leia Gray. His personal involvement in a stable with Jay Cargill and Red Velvet and the other girl, the lesbian girl. Anyway, so we go on to Rush defeating Blake Christian. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this: Chris took it to Rush early on. This was a great matchup. Like the match ended when Christian hit a 10-450 splash, Rush got up last second and clapped all hard with an acid look headbutt, followed up with a signature Ride dropkick finisher for the win. My thoughts with that match, well, honestly, this was a good main event. It showcased Blake Christian as a big star for Ring of Honor. Rush is most likely staying to AEW full time, so I'm fine with that. Alright, we're going to Dynamite about now, and my co-host is coming back right about now. Alright, let's do the Dynamite recap. In these unique times, AgostoAllElite can make a difference. Please buy our custom merch today at AgostoAllElite store on bonfire.com. You could buy our merch with a 20% off with the code Augusto Big Sale. So come on to AgostoAllElite store at Bonfire to get our merch. And it's 20% off, so hurry up and go get it now. Alright, let's start the Dynamite review. Okay, to the Dynamite review. Alright, Jon Moxley kicks up the show. The crowd chants for CM Punk. Moxley thinks they're still mopping Punk off the floor in Cleveland. He says people used to call Punk the modern 60-minute man. He had 57 minutes left in him last week, but Punk didn't. He says he pushes everyone he claims to be a heart and soul AEW and find out what they're made of. Moxley says Punk has a fragile ego, weak mind, weak spirit, fragile body. Tough business, dude. Sorry, Moxley says, is what it is, and we move on. Moxley pulls out a contract, says it's an open contract for any challenger. He's in the ring for where he wants to take. He says wrestling Moxley is a hazard to your health, and where he wants to. We saw Ace Steel head to the ring and pick up the contract, take it to the back. What do you think of this segment?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, any Jon Moxley promo segment is going to be a good segment. But I guess this kind of highlighted like how important Jon Moxley is to the locker room. Obviously, had like that shooty vibe against CM Punk, and all that. And I mean, I'm sure Jon Moxley in kayfabe offered that contract to anybody other than CM Punk, and it's interesting that what's his name, Ace Steel, picked it up, and eventually we would find out why he picked it up and the reasons for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, backstage, we got Chris Jericho says the American Dragon versus Lionheart is a dream match for most, but a nightmare for Danielson. Jericho missed that Owen and Stu Hart may appreciate Danielson's skill, but a bit more than his, but they will respect all his accolades more than Danielson's. We saw Daniel Garcia apologizing to Jericho, pledges the loyalty to JAS. Garcia said he'll knows Jericho will beat Danielson. He doesn't need to cheat to beat Danielson. Jericho thanks Garcia. So, what do you think of that small segment backstage?
Yeah, it was. It did what it had to do. Obviously, I kind of emphasize it the fact that Daniel Garcia was, beforehand we were thinking that he was torn between the two. He eventually would choose Chris Jericho in that segment. And the surprise of the many, obviously, everybody wants Daniel Garcia to choose Brian Danielson' side and be part of the BCC because, at least to us, he seems more of a technical wrestler, more of the type of Brian Danielson's, you know, way, the way of style, his style of professional wrestling. But he chooses Chris Jericho to the surprise of everybody, and I guess it did what it had to do.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Brian Danielson defeated Jake Hager. The post match 2.0 attacked Danielson until Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta even the odds. Jericho run down to the ring with a chair, but Daniel Garcia runs down, takes the chair from him. Garcia argues with Jericho. Jericho turns around to a flying knee from Danielson. What do you think of the match and the post match?
Yeah, I thought the match was really good. I know people really hate on Jake Hager and the way that he wrestles and all that. And like in the pandemic, obviously he was one of those boring guys or whatever. But I think he's a really good wrestler. Yeah, I went to AW Revolution in 2020, and he was an opening match of the pay per view. Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes, and I really liked that match. And it was a lot. It put over Jake Hager a lot. It was his first match in AW too, so there you go. But like, I think he's a really good wrestler. Honestly, he might be boring to a lot of people in that, like the style, like he doesn't have an exciting style. He's not the style of like Kenny Omega or something like that. But uh, what he does is, I think, is like what wrestling would look like if it were actually real. And I think that's the priority in anything. But I think obviously Brian Dennison was gonna get the win here. It,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
yeah.
Like what will happen? What's gonna happen at the Jericho versus Danielson match?
The Jericho Dynasty match, I think eventually Chris Jericho is gonna win because I think this is kind of a pattern. Um, Eventually, Chris Jericho surprises at pay per view matches. I personally, I know what people say on Twitter or whatever. I don't think they or Twitter says that Chris Jericho matches are boring and all that, but when they actually see those matches, Chris Jericho matches are very, very like fun. They're really good, honestly, and he's as much of a wrestler as Brian Danielson is, as John Moxley is, and all those people. I think Chris Jericho is gonna get the win, and I don't know what that would mean for Daniel Garcia and his allegiances. Maybe it kind of solidifies him as Chris Jericho guy, or maybe. Well, I think the mere existence of the or the Brian Danielson against Jake Hager match, and Brian Danielson getting that one before, the pay per view, kind of spoils the match results. Is Brian Danielson getting his win before losing at the big pay per view match? I think that's the way the AEW books things. I think that's the way a lot of people book things. So I think Chris Jericho is going to win. But in terms of the allegiances of Daniel Garcia, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
All right. All right. The Wayman on the ring. The hottest, sexiest hunks in AEW. Alright, the Wingmen are in the ring. Ryan Neff says they are the hottest, sexiest hunks in AEW. We saw the return of W. Morrissey comes out and beats them all down. Then we saw Stokely halfway walks out, hands him his card, and left together. So what do you think of the segment?
Yeah, I think I've always liked the Wingmen. I mean, they should be your resident jobbers, and I think that's what they are. Like what's his name? Well, like the NWAs in the 80s had their like Rocky King was one of those jobbers. The Monkeys was another one. Like people that could work, but that always are. They're gonna lose. They're gonna make the star look good, and that's what the Wigman did right now here. And it's W Morrissey, and apparently he's debuting I think he's contracted. I don't know if anybody kind of confirmed that or whatever. I think W Morrissey is contracted. Obviously, he was at AW once as a whatever as a storyline thing, but now I think there's a contracted thing where um, he tagged the wingman and then got offered a business card by Stokely Hathaway. Honestly, if you want me to give you your you know my true feelings about this,
Go
I
ahead.
never
Go ahead.
I've never really been impressed by W Morrissey. Obviously, he looks good or whatever. I think there's an attempt to kind of prevent him from going to WWE. If I'm being completely honest, and obviously it's a smart move business wise, so that WWE doesn't prosper with him. But I don't. I mean, you have the Sync guy, the big tall dude with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. I mean, I think I honestly think that the roster's bloated as it is. Even adding one more guy or two more guys or three more guys, is gonna be too much for me. Like, there's really like no space left. You know, it's already bad as it is. So that's my thoughts on that.
All right. All right. Backstage, Don Callis walks up to Will Ospreay. Callis said people call Ospreay the next Kenny Omega, but Callis thinks he's the first Will Ospreay. Callis reminds Ospreay that last time they were in a match against each other, he ate a one-ring angel, though. So, what's your thoughts on the backstage with Don Callis and Will Ospreay segment?
Yeah. So I think it did what it had to do. Obviously, I had that interaction between someone that is closely related to Kenny Omega, obviously his manager. Um, and then Will Ospreay, kind of building that match, building the main event. I think they're seeing good things that have been happening in Raw, and maybe that they've lost throughout the years, and doing them now because obviously they had like storylines going throughout the episode, which is good. I really like that, and this is one of them. Obviously, this is kind of hyping up the main event, and kind of exemplifying the dissension or like the relationship between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, and saying how Don Callis obviously is going to put over Kenny Omega over Will Ospreay, but while also acknowledging the fact that Will Ospreay is a really great competitor. He's saying that he's the next Kenny Omega is is obviously a great compliment, but you know it kind of builds the story. So I like this backstage segment.
Okay. Alright, we got Hikaru Shida, Tony Storm defeated Britt Baker and JB Hayter. What are your thoughts on this match?
Um, yeah. So I think Sheeta's. I think okay. So I was the one thing that I was surprised by is that Britt Baker was taking the pin. All right, she took the pin. I think this either says that either Britt Baker's gonna win this double or nothing, or or uh, Jamie Hayter is gonna beat Britt Baker. You know, ruining her chances. Maybe Britt Baker has a won and everything, but Jamie Hayter takes it away, or maybe she's the reason why they don't, and then they start something there. I don't know, but I think this kind of was obviously a good preview for the Fatal Four Way on the pay per view.
Yeah, okay. Alright, next, Kid Sabian saying he can read backpack like a book. Pack says Kid Sabian wants a shot at head. He can get at All Out. What's your thoughts on that little segment?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care about Kip Sabian. People seem to really like him now. I need to see him in the ring because I haven't seen him in it has been like almost 2 years now in the ring. I don't really remember how good he is. I don't think he was ever really that good. But if he has improved in the ring, which I expect that it's not just the metallic hair that he changed. Hopefully he's been training as well. Uh, I'm willing to give him a chance, but right now I really don't care about Kip Sabian. But Pac, I really like Pac. His presentation is always great. He cuts great promos as well, and he's a good wrestler. And right now he's the All Atlantic champion. So I'm looking forward to see what this match, you know, what this match looks like. So yeah.
All right. All right. So okay. Next. All right. Miro says God made a deal with the devil to take him out, but it hasn't worked. We saw Darby Allin Sting walking up, and Darby said he thinks Black is intimidated with success that King has without him. Sting says the enemy of the enemy is his friend. So what's your thoughts on that segment?
This segment, I was honestly, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I've been honest this whole podcast, honestly, but I've been growing tired of these promo segments of Miro. Like you've been doing them every week, every week, every week, and of like the same way. Obviously, people really liked them in the beginning. It was like it went viral, whatever, because people really liked the fact that he was talking to God or whatever, or then that he was abandoned by God, so he's in the darkness. It's very dramatic. It's a very dramatic type thing. Um, but you know, it built to the match that is gonna be a 3-on-3 between the House of Black, Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. So obviously, it kind of exemplified that they're somewhat of a cohesive unit. It's not just a you know collection of three people. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. CM Punk comes out. Look at the press. Punk says the surgeon told me he polarized the bones in his foot. Punk taunts a fan ringside is heckling him, says those screws are 16 times more than he ever been screwed in his life. He says his foot is 100%. He says he was cleared by doctors, but he isn't sure if the 100% is good enough anymore. Punk says business doesn't love you back, but the fans do, and the part why he came back for the fans. He says it hurts to think he let everyone down, and the points to his sister says it hurts to think he let her down. Ace Steel, who teamed with Punk at ROH, walks out and asks him what the hell he's doing. Steel says this is when he talked about in the back. Steel talks about the history together, says they are family. He reminds Punk that he fills up the arena and nothing more than a rumor. He says that he isn't letting him relieve it now. Steel slapped the shit out of Punk and tells him to get his ass out of fight and go to fight on Sunday. He pulls out the contract, tells Punk to sign the damn contract, fight Moxley. I fired up Punk versus Sherrill. Said before he was CM Punk, he was just a punk kid from Chicago who was born blue in the face with umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. Because they're trying to kill him since birth, but no one has been man enough to do it, and yet Moxley's ain't it. Punk says Moxley can't break his bones or drink his blood because we are Chicago. Punk signs the contract to celebrate with the crowd. What's your thoughts on this CM Punk segment?
I thought this was like an all timer segment. I don't know about all timer, but it was a really great segment. Just the beginning, obviously. Um, we I don't know how anybody thought what anybody felt there, but you felt that there was some genuine you know doubt in CM Punk's mind. Maybe he didn't buy into the fact that everything good or what.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So all right.
Oh, all right. On Jim Ross sat down with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy says that his father told him what it meant to be a man, and on Sunday, Christian will be fighting Jack Perry. What's your thoughts on this Jim Ross sit down with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy?
What's my thoughts on this? On on Christian and Jungle Boy, I think they built it pretty good. I think the fact that Jungle Boy said that you're not gonna wrestle Jungle Boy, you're gonna fight Jack Perry is a good line or whatever. It got personal because Christian, kind of mocked the fact that um, obviously Jungle Boy doesn't have his father, and like saying that he was his father's figure or whatever. But Jungle Boy didn't want to, get to that. It was very good. It was a very good interview. Uh, Jungle Boy is kind of like settling into to his voice and on the microphone. So I think this is one of the matches I'm most looking forward to in All Out. So yeah,
Alright, Warlow FTR defeated Ren Jones. I speak Dupree and Silas Young. What's your thoughts on this match?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really see it, but I mean it's FTR Warlow, and I would expect that it's a good match. Uh, I would expect it was a kind of a job match, though. I think so. I think it's a job match, but yeah, I gotta say I liked it because that's that's what they do. But it also, for me, it telegraphs the result for the pay per view match that they have uh, against the Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. I think this telegraphs the fact that maybe the Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal are gonna win, and it makes sense too because actually it doesn't make sense, but yeah, yeah. So I think they're getting their win as a trio because they're gonna get the loss at double nothing, all out. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I think this did it what it was supposed to do. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, honestly it is. Alright, we got John Moxley walks out, says this is your boy wants and exactly what he'll get. Moxley says to Sean Punk the difference between a fake messiah and a legend. So what do you think of Moxley walking out and his small segment?
it's more promoting the match at all out, the main event at all out is what these dynamites are supposed to do. A good promotion and good you know storytelling so that people buy your pay-per-views. That's what the old school way is, and that's what they did. That's what CM Punk has done. Did this episode. That's what John Moxley did twice in this episode, and you know, I'm sure they convinced a lot of people. And obviously, this was another shoot style. I'm sure there's a lot of reality to what he's saying here, but in terms of like delivery and all that, it was great. I think I liked it. Yeah.
Alright. Alright, backstage, Dark Order reveals that Ten's out of action with an injury, but Evil Uno will be taking his spot. We got Andrade and Idolo appears and he's thinking about giving Ten a contract as a good body. Uno says that Dark Order Ferrari lists Andrade attacking with a crutch and a stun gun. So, what's your thoughts on that backstage segment?
It was good. Um, Obviously, it's unfortunate that Ten is injured, whether it's a work or not, that he's injured. And they have a match on Rampage, and they had to find someone to replace that. And obviously, this kind of confirms the kind of assumption that Twitter had that Adam Page might be the one. I mean, Adam Page. We had our Twitter had kind of speculated that since the beginning, and it looks like it's all right. It's gonna happen. So it was good. The Andrade thing was kind of weird for me. I don't know where that's going, but yeah, I think Andrade really needs to let Jose the assistant. I don't know what Jose the assistant's purpose is. If he's a manager, he's really bad at doing his job for speaking for his client. Because I think Andrade really needs a manager, as in like someone to talk for him. I think he's really good at speaking for himself. Obviously, sometimes you have to do it so that you learn. But in terms of selling matches and all that, I think you gotta let someone else do it. And assistance isn't really doing much other than holding an iPad sometimes or whatever he's doing. I think he should be like saying something, but you know, I don't control these things. I guess.
Alright, we got the four-way match with Wheeler Yuta defeating Dante Martin, Rush, and Ray Phoenix. What's your thoughts on that match?
Who won this match? I didn't watch this one. Honestly.
It was Wheeler Yuta when he pins Dante Martin for the win.
So that's interesting because all of these people are at the casino ladder match, the casino ladder match at the pay per view. Um, so if Wheeler Yuta did win this four-way match, which I trust you, I think he did win. Right? I didn't watch this match, so I can't tell you anything about the match itself. But the results, if Wheeler Yuta pinned Dante Martin, that makes me believe that maybe Dante Martin wins uh, this ladder match. And maybe I'll ask you this question: who do you think is a Joker?
Mm. I'm gonna go with returning someone Samoa Joe or an MJF.
I, I think okay, okay. I think those are big. Those are big predictions. For me, I think what makes more sense, honestly. I mean, obviously, Samoa Joe is already. I think he's back already from recording his TV show or whatever. He is currently a champion, is he not? He's a
Yes.
a Ring of Honor television
Yeah.
champion,
Yes, he's still the champion.
and MGF is, nobody has heard anything about MGF, so we don't even know. We just heard that Dave Meltzer said that somewhat soon MGF will be returning. I don't know what somewhat soon means, but I guess people are assuming that that will be allowed. I personally don't think he's gonna come out on allowed, but we'll see. I guess. I don't think it's Samoa Joe either. I think, okay, if we see it, um, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, they are a tag team and Ring of Honor. They're a team, yeah. There's Rey Fenix and Penta. Yeah, there's another tag team in this ladder match, right? And then there's who are the other people there? Rush and Andrade. They're also a tag team, right? And then Dante Martin and the Joker who we don't know. I think it's Dante Martin and a returning Darius Martin. It's the logical way, unless it's too predictable so that you're surprised. I don't know, but I think it's Darius Martin returning from whatever. I think he had a car crash, or whatever, and uh, that's. I think that's gonna be the Joker, and I think it's a high probability it's gonna be him. If it's someone else like MJF or Samoa Joe, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't expect them to be there and allowed, but that's just me.
Yeah. All right. Backstage, Dark Order says they'll do a match alone and Evil Uno. Both are not medically cleared. Hangman Page box up said they need a partner. They have one in him. Reynolds and Silver are excited. What's your thoughts on this backstage involved with Dark Order Hangman Page?
Yeah, we knew this was gonna happen. We knew that a Dark Order. I guess the way that AW had been booking the Dark Order, they weren't gonna have a pay per view match the way that they've been booked in the past, like with the Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, obviously. Uh, and it just makes more sense to have Adam Page there uh, against the Elite because of his history with the Elite, and it's a returning Kenny Omega. It's the first time we see Adam Page and Kenny Omega in the ring. The fact that Adam Page was offered that spot before Kenny Omega was at all. So I think there's interesting kind of developments there. Um, so yeah, surely Dark Order is gonna make it to the final rep.
All right. Yeah. All right. The main event: AEW Trios titles tournament semifinals. The Elite versus the United Empire. Omega pins Fletcher for the win the match. So, what's your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, the main event was unbelievable main event. Uh, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. The singles match is gonna be great. Um, I really like Aussie Open as a tag team. I'm sure they have a future in the tag team division in AEW or anywhere. Like, yeah, I think they're top talent in the tag team division. I'd like to see Aussie Open versus FTR, just like a straight up tag team match against them. Um, yeah, the Kenny Omega looked better. That he finally took off the compression shirt or whatever. Or I think Will Ospreay took it off for him, and those he just had bandages all over his body or whatever. Um, I thought it was a good result. It was the best result possible. I think the Elite was always gonna win, and it's not my style of match. Obviously, I was entertained or whatever. Uh, it wasn't wrestling. I could tell you that, but um, Will Ospreay is really talented at whatever he does. He's really good at wrestling and really good at what he did there. And Kenny Omega, he looks like he's gonna be 100% from now on, but uh, he has to be surrounded by the right people. So uh, yeah, right results, I guess. And now I guess we see who's the next final guy, and we see what happens at AllOut.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what's your thoughts on this whole episode of Dynamite?
I thought the best parts were pretty good. I think the main event really was sold heavy and really sold hard, and I guess it had to like recompensate for not being announced with weeks ahead of the tickets for All going out. And I think it was sold really well. CM Punk and John Moxley is going to be a big match feel, and it was good build for the pay per view. It was a good go home. No brawls or anything, but good promos that sold those matches. Matches that gonna give you a preview of what you're gonna see at All Out, and that's what a go home is supposed to be. I'm guessing. So yeah, it was an enjoyable Dynamite, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, it was a Dynamite. All right. Hey,
What's up, man? How you doing?
what's up? All right, let's go to AEW Rampage recap. Starting with the Trios Championship Tournament Finals. Hangman Page, Reynolds, and Silver versus Orange Cassidy, best friends with Don Hansen. Don Hansen was ejected for cursing the Dark Order. Don Callis on commentary with the team, Sky for Kenny Omega. Hangman Cassidy started out, some of the usual Cassidy shenanigans. The best friends knocked Silver and Reynolds ran into each other. They placed Silver on the top rope and attempted a double superplex. Hangman made the save. Cassidy taunted with kicks, nailed a super kick on Silver. Cassidy covered for a two. Okay, Reynolds nails Cassidy super kick for a 2 count. Silver cleaned house, some big moves, scored a series of kicks on Cassidy. Cassidy came back with Slumdog Millionaire. We saw the best friends. Cassidy triple team Silver. Hangman made the save. Hangman beat down Cassidy. Best friends made the save. Silver Reynolds double T Cassidy surprised Silver with a small package for a 2 count. Silver went to the top, but Taylor nailed the awful waffle for a 2 count. Best friends took out Reynolds, double teamed him on the floor. Hangman went for the buckshot lariat, but was with the orange punch. Silver drilled Taylor with a big lariat and scored the pin. So Dark Order, Hangman Page are the winners and advance to the finals to face the Elite at All Out. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think we all thought this was gonna happen. I thought Dark Order was a for sure favorite to make it to the finals against the Elite, especially with Adam Page being that guy replacing Ten after the injury. I think it was a foregone conclusion since the beginning. The match was decent. It's not my type of match, but it was. I'm not gonna say it was a bad match. Um, Also, like just Adam Page, he's a world title level, singles competitor. I don't know if he should be involving himself with Danhausen and Orange Cassidy and all those people, but other than that, like this match was what it had to be. It's a tournament semifinal, whatever they're calling it, the tournament Rampage final, whatever, which makes no sense. It's just a semifinal, but now they're gonna have the actual true finals at All Out, and let's see what happens with the Elite and you know the Dark Order, the Adam Page storyline.
Yeah. All right. All right. They aired a video feature on Eddie Kingston versus Terminal Issue on Zero Hour for Sunday. They aired a promo for All Out. There was Ray Phoenix with Alex Abraham versus Blake Christian, and Ray Phoenix won the match. It was short, sweet, at 2 minutes. It could be. So, what's your thoughts on this match?
You said it was a Ray Phoenix against Blake Christian.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure it was a good match. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really see it. I didn't, but you know, Ray Phoenix is a really good tag team competitor, and he's also a really good uh, singles competitor. And Blake Christian is someone that's coming up the ranks at AEW and the independent scene as well. So I'm sure it was good.
yeah. All right. All right. Right. All right. Lexi interviewed FTW champion Hook. Angelo Parker, Matt Manor show up for Hook speak. Parker tried to talk himself up to Hook's face, so Hook ripped off his shirt. He's going to throw it down, but Manor backed down. So this one's the streets of the NYC, and they'll get a taste of the title on Sunday. So, what's your thoughts on the backstage with Lexi Nair and Hook?
Well, yeah, this is kind of building that match. That it's a 0 hour match between Hook and Angelo Parker, Cool Hand Angelo Parker, in the in the pre-show, whatever, for the FTW Championship. Um, it's good. I mean, this match doesn't really need that much story, or that much build, or that much intrigue onto it, since it's a 0 hour thing, and the mere existence of Hook in this match is gonna sell the match for a lot of these fans of AEW. But yeah, it was good. I think it did what it had to do for that match.
Yeah. Well, all right. Siobhan joined the announcing team. Ortiz, Ruby Soho versus Guevara and Tay Mello. So yeah. And Ruby Soho Ortiz won that match. As a result, they're gonna face Sammy and Mello for the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions for on 0 hour. Huh? All right, I will. I'll be back. I gotta put the dog outside for a bit.
All right, it's fine. Yep.
All right. Oh. Yeah. All right, I'm back.
All right.
It was Ortiz, Ruby Soho, Sammy Guevara, Tay Mello. Like Ortiz, Ruby Soho won the match. As a result, they got a AAA Sundays. So, what's your thoughts on the match? As a result,
I thought it's pretty surprising that Ruby Soho and Ortiz are getting this opportunity, and that this was the kind of the way that they were gonna go after Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston had that little altercation backstage. I think that there's not much interest in this match. There's not a real good reason to say that this is a pay-per-view match, other than having these people on the pay-per-view. And for me, at least, I mean, this is going to be a theme throughout this AW and AllOut coverage. I think AW is really like not doing well with their booking, or at least like not doing as well as they used to. Maybe it's still booking well or doing well, you understand, or like having good intrigue or whatever. But I just think that something has changed, and that something is not that interesting anymore, and it's not as interesting all throughout the card. There's like 11 matches in the pay-per-view, the main card pay-per-view, and not all of them I could say are matches I'm interested in. I'm going to be zoned out for a lot of that pay-per-view.
yeah, okay. Uh-huh. All right, we got Lexi Nair interviewed Dark Order, him and Paige. Don Cal shows up and told Paige that they screw your friends up for power, you get the easiest, and he likes it. They ran. So, what do you think of the back? What's your thoughts on the backstage with Lexi Nair, Dark Armor, Hangman Page, and Don Callis?
Well, obviously building and creating more intrigue in this match. Uh, obviously you got to play with the history between Adam Page and the elites, especially the Young Bucks, and then Kenny Omega himself, because obviously Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, former tag team partners, former rivals. They beat it, or I guess Kenny Omega lost his championship to Adam Page, and they're both former champions and everything. I think that yeah, so Don Callis is gonna be stepping in as that person to represent the elite, so that you don't see them in the same kind of place before the pay-per-view on Sunday. So I think it's good.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. They ran down the all-out pay-per-view lineup. They aired a Vintage with Mark Henry doing a sit-down interview with the TBS champion Jay Cargill and Athena. Cargill said Athena is just number 38 in the lineup. People we've beaten. Athena cut a hell of a promo saying she's going to take her down. For everyone Jade has disrespected in the locker room. So what do you think of the Visionaire and Mark Henry sit-down interview with Jade and Athena?
Well, I think it was, you know, again one of those things to build and create more intrigue around the TBS Championship match. Um, I didn't have any problem with it. Obviously, Jade Cargo is, very confident in what she does. Athena also very confident in a different way. I don't see. I mean, I guess are we gonna do predictions or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I won't say my predictions yet, but like, uh, let's just say I don't. I mean, I do care who wins this match, but uh, I think both options are not that great for me, at least. Whatever, but yeah, this segment did what it had to do for this particular match, and I always say that, but it's true. So yeah, it was good.
Okay. All right. They had a video feature on Punk versus Moxley. And backstage, Shavant interviewed the AEW tag champs Lee and Swerve Strickland and the Acclaim. They talk trash to each other. So, so what's your thoughts on the backstage Shavant and the tag champs and the Acclaim?
Um, well, I didn't really see this part either, but this match for All Out, the most of the build was made like in weeks prior. I feel like they kind of stopped rolling the ball with this, majorly. Um, Obviously, Swerve and Keith Lee have kind of cooled down for me. And even in the first place, I didn't really like them either. The Acclaimed also, I would prefer the Gun Club over the Acclaimed, but obviously the Acclaimed are the ones that have won their feud. So yeah, I think this match will be a decent one, but I don't think it's one that I'm very much intrigued by.
Right. Yeah. We got the tag team champ, the ROH, RHW champion, AAA tag champs, FTR, and the AWT and champ. Warlock came to the ring. Like there was a promo about the next. Thank you for the fans for their welcome. He says there was a time in his life outside Circle no one really loved him. Then 2022 happened. He said from there the momentum turned around. He said he feels the love. Some people don't like them, and it's okay. He has some generals. Has why is Match Sunday happening? He says this match is happening because every match is added to their legacy. As he continued, there was Out Came the Mercy Machine Guns, Lethal, and Dundee Does Sam Singh. Same said they rep the greatest city in creation and the talent inspired the entire generation. Dax told him 10,000 people call him a-hole. Shelley said four of them on stage as a family. Dud said Sunday are going to mess with everything Dax holds dope. He asked Dax if he was going to fight like an 8-year-old brat. Dax wanted to fight, but everyone was held apart. So what do you think the Warlow FTR segment?
Um, I didn't. I mean, I would rather have FTR as heels. I would rather have Wardlow try it out as a heel. Obviously, we haven't seen him as a true heel in AEW. I don't know if I buy any of them as baby faces because they keep on repeating the same thing. But the Motor City Machine Guns also, like, they came down or whatever, and I've said previously that I don't have really prior exposure to them, so I don't know what to expect from them. I don't know if I should really be getting excited for them or not. I'll have to see on All Out, but For me, I think this did what it had to do, but much of what much of the proving that they're gonna have to do with me at least is gonna be in the ring, and I'm gonna see what happens there. Uh, I don't know why the TNT Championship isn't being defended at the pay per view. Maybe because it's a television champ. Uh, I'd rather have like let's say I mean Jay Lethal already had his match, so why couldn't it be Satnam Singh versus Wardlow? You know, you could. I mean, Wardlow would be the biggest babyface ever if you powerbound the dude. But you know, this did what it had to do for the match that they're gonna do at AllOut. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say about that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Backstage, QT Marshall is going all alone, so I know his word is the bond. Ricky Starks says make sure it's true. Shows that in front of them, like a three locked through. The lock when the banging try to free Marshall tried to free them, but Starks attacked them. They battle into the arena. Starks with Marshall into the whip all arena. He climbed to the seat, beat down Marshall right hands. He dumped up the double axe handle. They fall into the ringside. Starks tossed in the ring, which point the bell officially rang. So, and the QT Marshall versus Ricky Starks. Ricky Stark defeated QT Marshall in a big matchup. And after the match, Powerhouse Hobbs charged the ring, being to slug it out. The officials pulled them apart, but they broke free, kept brawling. Jericho was trashing Brian Danielson on the counter, so Brian came out and they went face to face show off the air. So, what do you think of the backstage start with QT Marshall and Ricky Starks, first of all?
Well, I thought it was good. I don't know, people online, people on Twitter are kind of hating or like kind of making jokes of the QT Marshall name or the factory, kind of rebrand, kind of like they're more like gimmicks types things. And I don't have a problem actually. I think it's better now. They're not just a group that come from a wrestling school. They're a group with personality and a little bit more something to them. And I think that's good. I thought that backstage segment was good.
All right, so the match. What are your thoughts on the match between QT Marshall and Ricky Starks?
It was a decent match. A good TV Rampage match, but and obviously I think QT Marshall and Ricky Starks are two of the best wrestlers workers in AEW. People might say different to that, especially to QT Marshall. But I think QT Marshall is a really good. I think he's like what Baron Corbin is to WWE. QT Marshall is to AEW, and that's something really good. And I think he's great at what he does. And Ricky Starks, a great wrestler too. He's a future top guy. You understand? Like this dude is still young and and does his stuff really well. He talks really good too. So I thought this match was really good, and obviously the right person won, Ricky Starks. This leads me to believe that a specific end to the match between Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks is
Oh
gonna
yeah, the
happen. But
post match. The post match. Like, what do you think of the post match that and end the show on Rampage?
what was the post match? Remind me
It was
again.
basically Hobbs charging the ring, slugging, and Ricky and Hobbs slugging it out. The officials pulled them apart. They broke free, kept brawling. Jericho was trashing Danielson on the commentary. Brian came out. They went face to face, and the show went off the air. It was basically the post match after the Stars versus QT Marshall.
Okay, so basically a lot of feuds kind of like Chris Jericho, Brian Danielson, and all of them started brawling and all that. I
Yeah.
think I think that's cool. It's something of it's like if it were in a movie. Like everybody's fighting at the same time, and you know nobody can regain control and everything. But it adds excitement and adds unpredictability, so that people think this All Out pay per view is gonna be just that, and they tune in. Um, I think I think it was a good post match, and to end the show, whatever. I'm really excited for both of those matches: Chris Jericho against Brian Dennison and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks. That's what I gotta say about Rampage.
All right, good. That's it for Rampage. All right. Okay, let's go to topics. Then we'll do the predictions for Clash of the Castle and all that. All
Okay.
right, the first topic: Samoa Joe could be returning to AEW soon. So basically, Samoa Joe finished up filming in the Peacock Twisted Metal live-action adaptation of video game series the same name. The Samoan submission machine will provide he was providing the body for Smee Tooth while Arnett voices the character. Details of the Twisted production remain close to the vest, but the fans know now that the series have finished production on its first season. The showrunner Michael Jonathan Smith confirmed the conclusion on Twitter, sharing an image of the logo on a site sculpture. It's unclear where Joe will come back, but his timing lines up nicely for having potential presence at AEW All Out this weekend. At February has 9 bouts scheduled, more expected to be announced on this week's Dynamite, but inclusion of Casino Ladder match gives Joe an easy in. So there could clearly no, but there's like 6 participants, but the Joker could potentially be Samoa Joe. So what's your thoughts on that, on Samoa Joe returning to AEW soon?
Well, yeah. There's only like a few opportunities for Samoa Joe to be returning and allowed. Maybe he is the Joker, as that as you said. Maybe he comes out in a after match stare down or something like that. I think if he does come, I don't think he's a Joker. I would say other people are over him to be that Joker. If I were to bet money, I think I'd say he returns on Dynamite on the Dynamite after AllOut. That's just me just guessing and saying whatever. But I think there's a good possibility that Samoa Joe is coming back. Obviously, the fans have been clamoring for Samoa Joe to come back. Obviously, they also have been kind of complaining about the fact that Samoa Joe hasn't been part of the plans in AEW and not knowing that he was out there doing the show, but they were complaining nonetheless. And obviously Tony Khan listens to the fans, so sometimes too much, but this in this case it's good. And I think there's a really good chance that Samoa Joe is gonna be out there, maybe in a to helping um, FTR and Wardlow or something like that, because maybe they'll get beat down after the match, and then Samoa Joe makes the save or whatever, because he has that history with Jay Lethal and that you know little group. But yeah, I think there's a good possibility Samoa Joe does come back at our.
Oh yeah, okay. All right. WWE Amazon filed a joint lawsuit. Like they filed a lawsuit against the 13 defendants who attempted to market and sell inadequate replicas of the WWE branded championship belts in Amazon store. Apparently, one of the defendants was found to be operating on a fraudulent business outside New Jersey. In addition to the civil lawsuits, they worked with Middlesex County, New Jersey's prosecutor's office to pursue these bad actors who led to felony counterfeiting charges against the 2 connected individuals for the sale of counterfeit WWE Championship title belts. So apparently, WWE partnered with Amazon's Counterfeit Crimes Unit to pursue these lawsuits targeting bad actors who attempt to sell counterfeit products and falsely represent their location and identities. So, what's your thoughts on this?
I haven't heard about this, but it sounds like people were selling fake merchandise or something like that on Amazon, and that's a serious matter. That's a serious thing, especially for WWE. I mean, they're making money off of something that they own, and that's fraudulent. You understand? So obviously that's big trouble. If obviously if they're getting sued, they're gonna lose against someone like WWE. Um, you're stupid if you wanna sell merchandise that's not you know yours. You understand? Like your copyright or whatever. You gotta know those types of things before you put stuff on the internet. So yeah, I think that's what I think about that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to Bobby Fischer's expiring AEW contract won't be renewed. Apparently, Abby he's not been seen on AEW programming in almost a month. It appears now looking the reason why Bobby's contract is believed to be expiring, and it happened yesterday. The company was not looking to sign an extension or new deal. It was according to Fightful Select.
His last appearance was on August 3rd of episode Dynamite. Part of the AgostoAllElite return seemed to be heading to a storyline of the Bucks. Now it looks dead in the water, perhaps due to a combination of Fish wrapping up with the company as well as of injuries. Colin already. He hasn't wrestled for AEW any longer since June-July timeframe. He's been working some independent shows in the month of August. Another sign is on his way out. Fish has been with AEW for a year, joined the promotion in October 21 after running with WWE's NXT system where he was a member of Undisputed Era before WWE released in summer 2021. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Bobby Fish, you know, being released is a big deal on the internet, on Twitter. Obviously, you know, with this backstage drama that has been happening backstage, and also, you know, that report, that false report or whatever. Right now, it's not completely confirmed, but there have been reports that multiple people have asked for the release. Actually, Malachi Black being one of those names listed. Uh, but Bobby Fish, you know, obviously did ask for, or not, it wasn't asking for his release, but he didn't extend his contract. They didn't come to terms. It was explained, I saw somewhere, I think Fightful themselves, or maybe it was Wrestling Observer, kind of said that yes, that they didn't come to an agreement with their deal, with his deal, you know, but maybe in the future, you know, there's a possibility that they come to terms with a deal, with a new one, which, you know, who knows? I mean, Bobby Fish by himself, I mean, whether he wants to continue wrestling or not, I mean, I don't think, you know, he would be a package with, you know, a tag team competitor, whether it's Adam Cole or Kyle O'Reilly or Roderick Strong. I mean, that's where he's strongest. If he's gonna be a singles competitor, I don't know if that intrigue is there for him, unless he goes somewhere like Impact or something, or MOW or something, or just goes to the independent scene. But if he wants to go to WWE, I don't know if he's worth what an undisputed era, you know, would be worth in WWE. But yeah, that's interest. That's an interesting topic because you know, obviously people are gonna more and more people are gonna have their contracts expired, and maybe they just don't want to extend it because of the way that AEW is running things right now, and you know all the drama backstage, the reported drama. It's real drama, and obviously you know the big dog right now, like the person, like the company that's doing well, and like kind of the place that people want or wrestlers want to be at is WWE. So maybe they want to make that jump, and eventually it's gonna turn around to for AEW's favor. It's just the way it works. So I don't know. So Bobby Fish officially out of AEW. Doesn't have a contract. He's a free agent, and he could appear anywhere. So we'll have to wait and see where he goes next.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. All right, Brody Lee set to feature in AEW's Fight Forever video game, so is Owen Hart. AEW has been always to keep the memory of Brody Lee and Owen Hart alive, and this latest tribute to the Exalted One and Owen Hart has been revealed. They've been edging closer to the release of AEW's debut console game, Fight Forever. This is the first time the company has been developing a console game. So many fans aren't sure what to expect. Hype in the game is still high, but is set to have a slimmed down roster compared to the actual amount of wrestlers on our AEW contract. The slim roster was too much of a surprise given how bloated the roster in AEW. It's worth noting even wrestlers such as Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler have been omitted from the game, yet it was a welcome conclusion. The roster has been revealed in the WON newsletter. Meltzer revealed that Brody, who passed away in 2020, would be playable in the game. AEW made also a deal with Martha Hart, so Owen Hart, who never wrestled AEW, is a character in the original released as Brody Lee. So basically, in her, there's a heartwarming people will be able to play as Brody Lee. His passing was a shock to the wrestling world. This is a great way of paying tribute to the former TNT champion. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, yeah. So obviously the inclusion of Brody Lee is is good not only for like to sustain the legacy of Brody Lee, you know, after his death, but also obviously it gives a check to Amanda Huber and his son, and or his sons. It gives them money. Obviously Brody Lee has passed away, and he's not going to be receiving those checks for the video game. But at least his family is getting taken care of by AEW, and that's a good thing. Also with Owen Hart's, obviously they have that partnership with the Owen Hart Foundation and have uh, done stuff with Martha Hart too, um, including Owen Hart is just giving them more money. And obviously the way that Owen Hart passed away in the wrestling business is also tragic or whatever. So it's good to give them a paycheck so that they you know pay what's owed to them for the wrestling business kind of failing on them. But yeah, the slim down roster thing. I mean, it was that was confirmed since a while ago. But obviously, it is interesting why so many people that are in the wrestling or AEW right now aren't in that game, and the ones that kind of are new to that company are in that game. Obviously, you understand why CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and all them people are there. Obviously, they're gonna sell that video game. The mere mentioning of CM Punk in that video game is gonna sell it for some people that might not be as you know uh, aware of AEW, but um, people like Swerve and Keith Lee, I think, are in the game, or maybe they're not, but I'm just gonna say they are. And why aren't FTR there? Obviously, one can speculate that there's gonna be a Ring of Honor DLC or whatever, but that's not confirmed or anything. All we know is that Cash Wheeler and Dex Harwood said that hey, the reason that they were given by Tony Khan that they're why as to why they're not in the video game is a logical one. I think is the word they use, and if they're you know fine with it or just not, if they don't really care about it, then I don't think anybody on the internet in the Twitterverse should really care about it either. All I gotta say is I might like the game, I might not like the game, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not the one making money off of it. As a matter of fact, I'm losing money off of it. So um, I don't really care about that video game.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's go to. All right. Now for the WWE Clash of the Castle predictions. Roman Reigns will pit Paul Heyman versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed Universal WWE Universal Championship match. Who do you think is winning?
Well, this is the big match. This is the match that everybody's waiting for. Obviously, is the bigger match. Uh, I'd say I mean, between that one and CM Punk and John Moxley on AllOut, I think is you know the biggest match of the weekend, and there's a lot of great wrestling in that weekend. But the fact that it's in Wales or in the UK and Drew McIntyre is very hot right now, a very hot babyface right now, and Roman Reigns is 2 years just celebrated the 2 years of his reign. I think I'm gonna choose Roman Reigns here. I think he continues his title run because, in my view, I think Drew McIntyre is not that guy yet. Obviously, there's gonna be added, momentum and added intrigue into this match because it's in the UK and everybody's gonna be cheering and chanting for Drew McIntyre, and maybe in the moment it does seem like he's gonna be winning. Uh, but for me, Roman Reigns is gonna take that title all the way to WrestleMania and lose it to the Royal Rumble winner, whoever that may be. I think is Cody Rhodes, but I really think that Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns the the feud that you want to have with the championship titles, and strictly with Roman Reigns. So yeah, I think Roman Reigns beats Drew McIntyre in that main event of Clash at the Castle.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, in my opinion, I think Drew McIntyre should win because of his hometown. But yours prediction makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Who do you think is gonna win?
Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan. That's the one you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people think that Shayna Baszler is gonna win just because, she's a Triple H guy and you know she's gonna be have added kind of credibility to her now that she's gonna be under the tutelage of Triple H. But I think Liv Morgan wins this one only because we can't forget Liv Morgan also went through NXT. She was also Triple H, or has had a history with Triple H, and I think Triple H understands that Liv Morgan is a really liked babyface. People really like her. She's a very popular wrestler, really popular figure, and I think she holds on to the title a little bit longer. I don't think Shayna Baszler needs to win the title right now. I think she could legitimize Liv Morgan a bit more. Uh, we have to remember that Liv Morgan is the only person to beat Ronda Rousey twice. Uh, so like, there's there's the credibility there for Liv Morgan to beat Shayna Baszler. You put over Liv Morgan strong. Shayna Baszler can continue that, you know, momentum of being that, badass, even though she lost, but like, being that badass and continuing that kind of arc for her to like reach that level that she can be. But I think Liv Morgan beats Shayna Baszler and she retains that title for a little bit longer.
Probably, but I think Liv Morgan should retain, in my opinion. But anyway,
Dude, why do you think that?
I think that because like Liv Morgan's been having a great reign, and I don't want that to ruin suddenly because of Baszler being a Triple H girl, and they might push Baszler, but also because Ronda Rousey might return soon and be added back into the SmackDown Women's title picture soon.
Yeah, I understand that, and look, for me, I mean, if I'm supporting the babyface, if I'm supporting Liv Morgan in this case, and Shayna Baszler wins, I'm gonna hate Shayna Baszler. I'm gonna be like, holy shit, this girl just beat my favorite wrestler or my favorite, you know, champion or whatever. And that's what I'm supposed to be feeling. I'm not. I don't want. I shouldn't be wanting Shayna Baszler to win. So, uh, hopefully, Liv Morgan does win. But if Shayna Baszler wins, I'm not gonna be happy, but that's what I'm supposed to be feeling. So there you go. That I guess I could see a world where Shayna Baszler does win, but I don't think that time is right now.
All right. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Bayley, Dakota Kai, Evo Sky, 6-women tag team match. Who do you think is going to win this tag match? I'm going with Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky.
Yeah, I think that's a foregone conclusion right now, especially now after that tournament final where Raquel Rodriguez and Aliyah beat Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Now that trio team is gonna have surely beat Bianca Belair, um, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. And that's interesting because then Bayley, or someone around, let's say Bayley pins the champion Bianca Belair, and then there Bayley has an argument to go after that Raw Women's Championship against Bianca Belair, and then you could form an actual feud against them afterwards. So there's a lot of story implications. I'm sure this is going to be a great match. All the competitors are really good at what they do, and I think the heels get the one here. And Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai beat Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss.
All right. Now we have So Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins. So who do you think is going to win this match? Riddle versus or Rollins? I
I
think
think,
Riddle. I think Riddle's going to win because they build the point that Riddle's going to beat Rollins.
yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know. I think this has been a well built story. Obviously, it's been a while since they kind of touched like in the ring, so obviously this is gonna feel like a big match because they haven't really touched in the ring for a good while, other than like those fights. But they've been brawling for 2 months or 1 month or whatever since SummerSlam, basically. Um, and I don't know what to tell you. I don't. So part of me thinks that Seth Rollins is gonna get the win, but he's also been getting wins in Raw. So maybe he could take a loss again. But then again, Seth Rollins has been losing this whole year when he had that feud with Cody Rhodes. Assuming this is the feud ender, I'm gonna say that Matt Riddle does win. I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. Matt Riddle beats Seth Rollins, and kind of conquers that big heel. Uh, and then Matt Riddle can go off to other things. Maybe Randy Orton comes back. Who knows? I don't know how far into his recovery he is, but or maybe Cody Rhodes comes back here. I don't know. They might pull a surprise or whatever. But whatever happens, I think Matt Riddle wins and beats Seth Rollins in this match.
All right. Gunther Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus with Butch and Raj Holland for the Intercontinental Championship. Who you have winning, Gunther or Sheamus?
Yeah, so this is also like a match of the night contender. Obviously, Gunther is a great wrestler, and anytime that he steps in that ring, is going to be a banger and is going to cause a lot of intrigue because of the way that he wrestles. And, he actually wrestles. And Sheamus is a very similar wrestler. He also beats the fuck out of the people that he goes against. And the story here is that Sheamus, wants to gain the Intercontinental title because it's the only title he hasn't won. And after winning that title, he will become a Grand Slam champion. And it's a big deal for a wrestler, especially at the age of Sheamus. So I think that Gunther does retain, but I don't know. This one is a close one. I'm gonna say Gunther retains.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna agree with you and go with Gunther as well. All right. All right, Edge and Rey Mysterio with Dominic versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, where we have Ripley, a tag team match. Who do you have winning, Edge and Mysterio, or the Judgment Day? I'm gonna go with the Judgment Day. It's been a hot roll, so yeah, I'm going with Judgment Day.
I think so. Something that a lot of the Twitter people, all the people online, all the Twitterverse, as I say, they want Dominic Mysterio to turn on his father and join the Judgment Day, but not as someone that has the aesthetic as them or acts like them, but like be like you know the servant, I guess, to Rhea Ripley. I personally don't like that idea. I don't think it would be good, but I think one thing that Triple H has proven that he's willing to do is to appease the fans online, which are a lot of the hardcore fans, the people that like wrestling and like fantasy booking wrestling. So I'm gonna say that does happen. I think Dominic Mysterio does turn on his father at some point in that match, and cause his father to lose against the Judgment Day, and kind of aligns himself with the Judgment Day afterwards, and then you could start a big feud that culminates at WrestleMania, where maybe you put a mask on the line or a career on the line or something like that. So yeah, I think I have to agree with you. Judgment Day does win this match.
All right. Okay, let's go on to all out predictions now. All right, we'll start with the All Out Zero Out pre-show first with Pac versus Cape Sabian for the AEW All Atlantic Championship. Who you have winning, Pac or
Pac,
Kip?
so Pac or Kip Sabian. This one is an interesting match because obviously it's the first match that Kip Sabian has had in AEW since returning. He's been out for like I feel like it's been all 3 years. I feel like I only watched him wrestle like twice before he got injured or whatever happened to him. I'm gonna have to say that Pac retains his title only because this is his first defense on AEW. Like at an AEW show, obviously he's defended it across the UK and Europe. But I think I'm gonna have to say the Pac beats him. I don't know how you get around protecting Kip Sabian after his because I mean I don't think it would be a great idea to beat Kip Sabian right after returning. I think you have a good opportunity of like cementing him as a guy that can, com- you know, compete at a certain level. But I'm gonna have to still say Pac does beat Kip Sabian and retains that AEW All Atlantic Championship.
All right. And I'll go with Pac too. It's most likely the scenario. So now we got a Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston 2. The first one happened in New Japan show. So this is gonna be the second one. Who do you think is gonna win, Ishii or Eddie Kingston?
So I know that Tomohiro Ishii beat Eddie Kingston in that first match at wherever that match happened. But since it is an outsider versus a very loved insider, and obviously also it's a dream match, I'm gonna have to say that Eddie Kingston gets the W here because um, it is a match at AW, and I mean I'm sure Tony Khan is partial to his AW talent, and Eddie Kingston is that. So I think you give the win to Eddie Kingston unless he's punishing Eddie Kingston, giving him a loss. But I don't think he's like that. I think Eddie Kingston does get that win over Tomohiro Ishii, and I think the Twitterverse is gonna love this one, even though it might be for me a little bit boring. But yeah,
Yeah, mostly on Eddie Kingston for the win. All right, we got Hook versus Angelo Parker for the FTW Championship. Who do you think is gonna win, Hook or Angelo Parker?
I think this is gonna be a quick one. I think Hook wins maybe one or two moves. Cool handout. Angelo Parker isn't a singles competitor, so there you go. Hook is gonna win really quick.
Yeah, most likely makes sense. Yeah, Hook's gonna win. It makes sense. And the fourth 0 hour match is Ruby Soho and Ortiz versus Guevara and Tay Melo for the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship. Who is gonna win? Tay Melo or Guevara or Ortiz or Soho?
I, I'm gonna have to tell you, and I'll bet $100 that if Tai Melo and Sammy Guevara don't win this match, I'll pay you $100. All right.
Okay then.
Uh, I, I'm almost 100% sure that Sammy Guevara and Tai Melo is gonna win this match because I
Yeah,
could tell
most
you why.
likely. Yeah.
I could tell you why because in order to be a AAA mixed tag team champion or any AAA champion or any champion from another promotion, if you're not gonna defend it in that promotion, because eventually you're gonna have to lose it at that promotion. If you're not gonna go to that promotion and defend it there and potentially lose it over there too, then you're not gonna win it. And I don't see Ortiz and I don't see Ruby Soho going to AAA. So they're not gonna win that championship. To me, it's a foregone conclusion. Sammy Guevara and Tai Melo retain those championships.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. All right, let's go to the main pay-per-view predictions. All right, let's start with Warlow and FTR versus Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. Who have winning? Warlow, FTR, or Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns?
I'm gonna have to say that since Lethal has taken a couple losses to Wardlow, and but I mean I guess Lethal also lost to Dex or he beat Dex Harwood, but I'm gonna say that Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns beat Wardlow and FTR. Actually, no. The Babyfaces win. Wardlow and FTR beat the other team because you gotta beat them, and uh, I think this ends between those teams in particular after this. So the Babyfaces do need to win here.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good point. All right, we go to Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Who do you think is gonna win, Starks or Hobbs?
This one is a hard one of the more harder ones in the match, and the one of the most intriguing, one of the only ones that are intriguing to me. But I think, especially after what happened in on Dynamite and also on Rampage, I think Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win here. Ricky Starks is gonna, and maybe Powerhouse is gonna have you know have help from the factory. Obviously, that involvement is still there. Um, Ricky Starks is the babyface in peril. I mean, he has no friends right now. Like he's not involved with anyone. He used to have Team Taz, but they're not there like really anymore. So I think Powerhouse Hobbs does win. Ricky Starks doesn't lose anything off of this. I think it's gonna be a banger match. anyway. So, yeah, Ricky Starks can get his win eventually.
Yeah, most likely. All right. Casino ladder match for the future AEW title. Who you have winning?
Who and who?
Who you have winning the casino ladder match?
Oh, the casino ladder match. I think this is hard because we don't know one of the competitors. I guess I'm gonna have to ask you a question before I answer who I think is gonna win. Who do you think is a Joker? I think I've asked you this before, but just
The
for this
Joker.
prediction, yeah.
Yeah, for prediction, the Joker. I feel the Joker could be a debuting winning him Rotunda or a returning superstar like Adam Cole or MJF.
Yes, yes. Those are the popular ones. I think Wyndham Rotunda or Bray Wyatt or The Fiend, I think he's going to be a Clash at the Castle. So I don't know about that. But um, I do think Adam Cole is a good shout. I think you said MJF too. I don't know about MJF. I think if MJF does come, I'll be surprised, but that's good. I think if he does come out, that's a good thing. But right now, I'm not expecting it. And Samoa Joe is another one that people, want to see Samoa Joe and everything. I think I have said before that I think I explained it to you as well that if you look at the match itself, the competitors there, it's a lot of tag team competitors. There's Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. They were a tag team, a Ring of Honor. They're a tag team. They're part of the team. Rey Fenix, Penta Jr. They're also tag team, and they're going against each other in that match. The other one is who are the other competitors? Dante Martin, I think, is one, and then there's another ones. Oh, Andrade and Rush. Andrade and Rush are also competitors, and they're a tag team as well. So Dante Martin is the odd one out, and there's a Joker. Uh, what we do know is that Dante Martin has a brother. His brother was in a car accident a few months ago, and there's a Joker waiting there. I think it might be Darius Martin. It might be underwhelming. It might be something that people don't want, but I'm gonna say Darius Martin just for the sake of not disappointment, just not setting myself to disappointment. So yeah, Darius Martin is my pick for the
Yeah.
Joker.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
All right, we
but
got Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaim for the AEW Tag Team Champions. Who do you think is going to win? Swerve in Our Glory or the Acclaim?
I think this is a foregone conclusion as well. I think I could see the world with Acclaim do win, but I think Swerve in Our Glory uh, is gonna win this match. It's one of their first, defenses. It's definitely the biggest defense they've had so far, and I think they're gonna win. So yeah, I'm not really into this match. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I think Swerve Our Glory wins.
All right, understood. Yeah, it's the most likely Swerve in Our Glory is going to retain. All right, we got Jay Cargill versus Athena for the TBS Championship. What do you got? Who's going to win, Cargill or Athena?
This one is an interesting one, not because I'm interested in it. I don't think this is gonna be a particularly good match. Uh, I since the beginning of Jade Cargill's reign have always said that Jade Cargill, you know, is gonna have nothing after she loses his TBS championship. So I don't know if it's a good time to take it off of her right now. I don't know if it was a good idea to put it on her in the first place. But if she's gonna lose it, I don't know if Athena is that person. I don't think they've built up Athena uh, to that level. Maybe you just put a strap on her and see if it does something to Athena. But um, I really don't think that she's the girl to be beating Jade Cargill. So I'm gonna have to say Jade Cargill wins this match and retains her championship. And I think we're nearing the end of this reign, but I don't think Athena's that girl to take it out for. So yeah, I think Jade Cargill wins.
Yeah, most likely, Cargill's most likely going to retain. I don't think Athena's not built up enough, so I see Jay Cargill will retain the title. All right, we got Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy. What do you got winning, Christian Cage or Jungle Boy?
I think this might be match of the night in terms of work rates. I'm really excited for this match. This this building, like as in like the building for this match, like the way that they built this match has been great. Jungle Boy has kind of came out of his box. You know, he's been more comfortable in promos. Christian Cage obviously has shown that he's a legend and should be respected as well. And now we got to see how they mesh in the ring, and I think they're gonna mesh really well. I think there's only one good answer here. I think the babyface has to prevail. I think Jungle Boy beats Christian Cage and avenges, you know, himself from somebody who has insulted his father multiple times. I think Jungle Boy gets the win, or Jack Perry, as he called himself last Wednesday. Jack Perry will win this match.
Yeah, most likely John Boy is going over Christian. Yeah, it's happening. All right, we got Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson. Who do you think is gonna win, Jericho or Danielson?
Um, I think I said this before, but I think Chris Jericho is gonna win. I think I think I've said this before too to you that Chris Jericho surprises on pay-per-view matches. Maybe going into it, people are not kind of into these matches. Obviously, it's a Bryan Danielson match, so people are kind of into this match, but also are apprehensive because it's a it's a Chris Jericho match. It's a sports entertainment match. But then you're in the match itself, and you see, bro, Chris Jericho is just as much of a professional wrestler as Bryan Danielson. I mean, Chris Jericho comes from Smoky Mountain Wrestling. He was brought up by Jim Cornette. He's as professional wrestling as professional wrestling gets, but also obviously he took some shit from WWE that he learned in the 2000s, But he could bring that shit from the sports entertainment on TV and then bring it to the pay per view, bring professional wrestling to the pay per view. So I think Chris Jericho beats Bryan Danielson and sports entertainment prevails against professional wrestling in AW.
Yeah, most likely Jericho going over Danielson. So now we have the Elite versus the Dark Order for the AW Trios Championship for the whole championship tournament thing. Who you got going, the Elite or the Dark Order?
So the winner of this match will be the first ever inaugural Trios champions. I think that this is also a match that is hard to predict. You might, think that maybe the Elite, being the most established team, the most popular team, the people love this team, and Kenny Omega just came back. Um, but the Dark Order are in a run. Adam Page is helping them out. There's some backstage drama, but also there's that history between Adam Page, the Elite, and Kenny Omega. So I would have to say the Dark Order wins these in a big, great moment for the Dark Order, and the Dark Order finally have a something to be proud of and kind of dedicate to Brody Lee or something, or just these 3 years were worth something. They got their title finally, and I think Adam Page and the Dark Order, in a free bird rule type of way, become trios champion.
Yeah, okay. All right, good point. All right, Tony Starr versus Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida for AEW's Era Women's Championship. Who you guys think is gonna win? Tony Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, or Hikaru Shida?
This one also is hard. Obviously, you have 4 people to choose from. Well, obviously, we got to remember that this is an interim champion. So eventually, this champion is going to go against Thunder Rosa again. I'm going to, this is a hard one to pick, but I'm going to say that Hikaru Shida wins it once again. I think Hikaru Shida is the one that's returning. She hasn't been around for a long, and Britt Baker is a former champion, so is Hikaru Shida. I think Hikaru Shida pins Britt Baker. I think that's what happens. I think maybe Jamie Hayter causes that to happen, and you can have a Britt Baker Jamie Hayter feud, in the side in the future, and then Hikaru Shida is interim champion. She's just a great worker, one of the better workers in the women's division. So yeah, I think Hikaru Shida wins.
All right. Yeah, I think she is mostly gonna win. All right, I'm gonna get a quick second. I gotta let the dog back out of the backyard, back inside.
Yep.
It'll be quick. Get inside. All right, get inside. All right, I'm back.
All right. So what's left?
The main event is CM Punk versus Moxley for the AEW Championship. Who do you think is gonna win, CM Punk or John Moxley?
Yeah. So this one obviously is, I'd say, tied for. Nah, I don't know. I think second most. You know, the biggest match that you're gonna have this weekend. It's obviously has a lot of intrigue of the hardcore fans because of the backstage drama and the fact that CM Punk got jobbed out on Wednesday 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
John Moxley now is a champion. He's been champion technically since whatever June. I think CM Punk wins this match. I think CM Punk wins it in a fairly long match because John Moxley said that he used to be called the 60-minute man, and that he's not that guy anymore. Either that, I'm going to choose CM Punk winning, but I could see a draw happening, a 60-minute time limit draw, where John Moxley does retain. I think, I think that's what I think. It's going to be a big, long match, and has really good potential to be great. So yeah, that's what I think.
But I have something on his take. I think CM Punk is gonna win this match. I feel it because he will turn heel in front of Chicago by low blowing Moxley and hit his GTS to win the title.
That's a hard thing to do, especially since he's in Chicago. But if he does that, I don't. You'd have to work the crowd really hard to try to support John Moxley against CM Punk. Like it's hard for Chicago to stop chanting for CM Punk. Maybe at the end after winning, like in the situation, after winning, he cuts a promo where he like insults the crowd and all that. But it'll be really hard. But I do really think that CM Punk is gonna win.
Yeah, most likely. So that was all our predictions. This is AgostoAllElite podcast. We'll see all of you next Saturday. But coming up Monday, we will have the pay-per-view review of AEW AllOut and Clash of the Castle on Monday.
All right.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
See ya, man.